Hey guys, so today we are going to be making a diagram of the life cycle of a thunderstorm. This is going to be something that you can use on the severe weather quiz and test. So what you need to start out with is a sheet of blank paper and something to write with. What I want you to do first is fold this into 3 equal parts. So you can kind of roll it like a burrito and fold it into 3 parts. And it should look something like this. Next, what you're gonna do is fold it in half long ways, like this. So that it looks something like that. And the last 2 folds that we're gonna do is going to be the top to the middle and the bottom to the middle. What you want to do next to finish setting up your paper is to trace the lines only that are going long ways, not the up and down ones, only the ones that are going across. So when you're finished setting up your paper, it should look something like this. So now that we have our paper set up, we're gonna go ahead and start to draw the diagram of each cloud on our page. So the first thing that we need to do is label our altitude lines. That's these lines that you drew parallel to the long edge of your paper. Starting from the ground level, which is going to be the bottom edge of our paper, we're gonna go 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet, and the very top edge of your paper is going to serve as 40,000 feet in altitude. And then you can go ahead and label it on the other side also. Okay, the next step in diagramming our clouds is going to be to draw the actual clouds on our sheet. So the first stage of thunderstorm life cycle is called the developing stage. And the cumulus cloud starts to develop at about 5,000 feet altitude. That's gonna be about halfway between your ground level and your 10,000 feet altitude line. Okay. So your developing cumulus cloud is going to reach about up to the 2,000 feet altitude line. And you can label this stage as the developing stage. The next stage is going to be the mature stage. This is when the cumulus cloud starts to build on itself and really reaches those high altitudes. This is actually so big it's going to go off of our page, but again, it does start at about 5,000 feet altitude. You'll see that this cumulonimbus cloud starts to make an anvil shape, which means it comes in the middle and then starts to spread out once it gets to those higher altitude levels. Okay, so you can go ahead and label this stage as the mature stage. The next stage is going to be the dissipating stage, which is when we have those downdrafts of that cold air that has gone so high up in altitude that it began to cool itself off and begins to sink back down to the earth. This starts above the 40,000 feet mark and reaches just below the 30,000 feet. You can go ahead and label this stage as dissipating. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is label the air movement. So in the developing stage, we have warm air rushing up and creating this moisture-filled cloud. In the mature stage, we have a lot going on. We have warm air rushing up into the cloud, which is building on itself. And we also have a cold front, which starts to have those cold downdrafts, bringing that strong, heavy precipitation. In the dissipating stage, the air has cooled off and is now causing those strong downdrafts and winds to happen. So we have cold air rushing back down, sinking back down to the earth. Okay, so now what I'm gonna have you do is flip your paper over to the blank side, and we're going to label the 3 columns as the 3 stages of the thunderstorm life cycle. Now, for each stage, I have just a few things that I want you to write down that will help you on the quiz and just for future reference. The first stage that we're going to talk about is the developing stage. At the developing stage, we have that towering cumulus cloud. We also have rising warm air. And that's how that cloud is building on itself. This stage lasts about 10 minutes. And we do have occasional lightning in this stage. Moving on to the mature stage, we have possible hail, heavy rain, tornadoes, and lightning. The next thing about the mature stage to remember is that the cloud may appear black or very dark green in color. And finally, this stage lasts on average about 20 minutes, but it can last longer. Okay, moving on to our final stage, which is dissipating. We have those downdrafts of that downward flowing air. In the dissipating stage, we also will see a decrease in the intensity of rainfall or precipitation. The dissipating stage, because of those downdrafts, can produce strong winds. And finally, you can still have lightning in the dissipating stage.